Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Trabaho, Negosyo at Kabuhayan webinar on franchise investment opportunities in the Philippines. This event is brought to you by the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka and the Philippine Franchise Association, in coordination with the Philippine Community Coordinating Council, Kansai Region, Japan, otherwise known as the PCCC. May we request our participants to please stand by as we wait for others to join us. For the meantime, we are streaming live on PFA Facebook page and at the Pueblo Osaka Facebook page. You may invite your colleagues, friends, and family to check us at Philippine Franchise Association and at Polo Osaka. Just a gentle reminder, should you have questions, please write them at the question and answer Q&A box found at the lower portion of your screen. We will not entertain questions coming from anonymous participants. As such, kindly indicate your name. And last but not the least, let's observe courtesy in the chat box to have a valuable learning experience. Maraming salamat po. A pleasant afternoon to our kababayans here in Japan and to those joining in from the Philippines. This is Elizabeth Marie Estrada, Labor Attaché of the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, welcoming you to this afternoon's Trabaho, Negosyo at Kabuhayan webinar on franchise investment opportunities in the Philippines. Before we begin, let us offer a short prayer to seek guidance and grace from God as we face the new normal. Welfare Officer of Polo Osaka, Pilipina Dino, will lead us in prayer.
Let us all put ourselves in the presence of God. God, we wish to thank you for those who planned and guided our activity for the day, and all those who have contributed in any way to make it possible. Thanks be to you, God, for all the benefits which you have given us. Thank you for everyone who joined us today to make this successful event. May you guide and strengthen us and make the knowledge and skills that we are about to receive in this webinar be effective to our future endeavor. Most merciful Redeemer, friend and brother, may we know you more clearly, love you more dearly, and follow you more clearly. Amen.
All right. I hope everyone is staying healthy and hopeful as we continually recover in these trying times. And this afternoon, we are warmed by everyone's support. As of this moment, we have over 91 in the Zoom. We are hosting 2 Zoom groups at the Polo Osaka offices with about 20 participants and a number of people also tuning us in the Facebook live stream. Thank you so much for joining us in this webinar to learn and discover about the different franchise opportunities in the market. But before that, allow me to briefly remind everyone of our house rules. Should you have questions, please write them at the Q&A box. We will not entertain questions coming from anonymous participants. As such, please indicate your name. If you want more information about a certain brand or brands, please leave your contact details in the chat box and we shall give them to our franchise presenters. Your name, your email address, mobile number, and the name of the brand or brands you are interested in. For those who would like to request for an e-certificate, kindly email at pcg.osaka.laborsection@gmail.com and please indicate your full name, company or organization, and the reason for requesting the certificate, especially if you are an OFW and would like to be linked to the OWA Livelihood Program. And let's practice and observe courtesy and refrain from using offensive language in the chat box. Thank you very much. All right, moving forward on our session this afternoon, we are honored to have some of the respected leaders in the franchising industry. We have with us the chairman of the Philippine Franchise Association, Mr. Richard Sanz, to give us his welcome remarks. We also have with us the President of the Philippine Franchise Association, Ms. Cheryl Quintana, who will share with us an overview of the Philippine franchising sector. And of course, our resource speaker this afternoon, the PFA Director for ASEAN and Special Projects, Mr. Chris Lim, to share with us his expertise and advice in investing in the right franchise. We will also be hearing from our very own Consul General, the Honorable Maria Eileen Bucarin. And before we come to the end, we will hear once again from Ms. Cheryl Quintana for her closing remarks. This afternoon will surely be exciting, inspiring, and insightful, knowing that these leaders in the Philippine franchising sector came together in one webinar to take us to franchising in the new normal. And later, we will also hear the different franchise opportunities from Big Smile Bread Station, Citro Zone, CIS Bayad Center, Bibingkinitan, Orispa, and U Franchise Sales and Management featuring Froti, Easy Day Shop, LTNG Credit Line, and Potato Corner. So without further ado, let's get to it. It is with great pleasure to introduce to you the Commercial Counselor and Trade Representative of the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, Mr. Eman Ang, to give the session overview and to introduce to us our guest speakers for this afternoon's event.
Salamat Labat Beth. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. As Labat Beth mentioned, ang topic po natin today is about franchising. Now, if any of us are interested in setting up our own business for the first time, or if you're thinking of maybe investing, being a part of a business in the Philippines while still staying overseas, one of the better options for you to consider is franchising po. Later on, our speakers will elaborate why. But in terms of franchising, if you're looking for advice, information, or assistance in franchising, there is no better source in the whole Philippines than the Philippine Franchise Association. Yung PFA po is the nationwide primary organization in the Philippines for all franchise businesses. They count among their members most of the dependable, attractive, and successful franchise brands in the whole country. So they are the best source of information and assistance po if you want to do franchising. And in this regard, we are so very fortunate today that we have the top executives themselves of PFA sharing with us their Sunday afternoon, to give us their advice and to teach us all about franchising. We have the chairman of the PFA, si Rich. We have the president of PFA, si Ms. Cheryl. We also have an international expert in franchising and the director for special projects, si Mr. Chris, no? And then afterwards, they have also kindly invited more than 6 companies, members of PFA, to talk about their own specific brands so that we have specific examples of franchise businesses succeeding in the Philippines. Pagkatapos po ng lahat ng presentation na to, we have a Q&A, no? I want to highlight this because I want all of our participants to try to take advantage of this opportunity. It is very rare that we have this chance to ask a question one-on-one directly from the leaders of franchise industry in the Philippines and also owners of successful franchise brands themselves. No? Even if you're in the Philippines and you're maybe consulting with a franchise brand to maybe become a franchisee, baka most likely you'll get to talk to a sales manager or supervisor. But today, we have the owners themselves. So let us take advantage of their wisdom and their generosity today in sharing their time and advice. No? So anyway, without further ado, let us proceed with the program. I'm sure it will be a very productive one. No? At this point, it is my pleasure to introduce a distinguished leader and multi-awarded entrepreneur. He is the CEO and founder of the Food Asia Group, which has a store network of over 400 multi-brand stores. Food Asia Group po is, he is the owner po of some of the more popular brands that you may have encountered in the malls, Bibingkinitan, Lava Cheese Tarts, etc. He is the past president of the Philippine Franchise Association and currently the director for digitalization in PFA. Let us give our warmest welcome to the current chairman of the Philippine Franchise Association, our good friend, Mr. Richard Sanz.
Good afternoon, everyone. Eman, thank you so much for that warm introduction. So, good afternoon and a blessed Sunday to everyone there in Japan, especially to our kababayans. Konnichiwa. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Maria Eileen Bugarin, the Philippine Consul General in Osaka, and our sincerest gratitude for inviting us to hold the Trabaho, Negosyo, Kabuhayan, or Tnk as it's now popularized, the webinar on franchise investment opportunities in the Philippines. So your support po is very much appreciated. I would also like to acknowledge, of course, and thank Mr. Eman Ang, the Commercial Counselor of the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, for making this event possible. So Eman and me, we go a long way, and this is probably our third or fourth Tnk together, even when he was still the Commercial Counselor in Seoul, Korea. And I myself, because of work, I usually visit Japan almost 4 to 6 times a year. But this year, because of the pandemic, we cannot travel to Japan. So we really miss the nice autumn weather now. I'm sure I have seen the pictures and the beautiful Koyo and my favorite, the Momichi. So I guess this is the next best thing to have a Zoom Tnk. But we all look forward to seeing you and visiting you there when the time permits, hopefully next year. So of course, we have with me today our very hardworking PFA president, Ms. Cheryl Quintana, our very active PFA director for ASEAN and special projects, Mr. Chris Lim, and the selected PFA members who will be sharing their product presentation later. So on behalf of the PFA Board of Trustees and Officers, I'd like to welcome everyone, especially our fellow Filipinas and kababayans in Japan. I hope that you and your families are safe and well. And as the whole world is still adjusting to what we call the new normal, businesses are striving to stay afloat. And as we are slowly adapting, businesses, both big and small, are pivoting to ensure that they meet the needs of their consumers and still be relevant at the same time. So having said this, I am very positive that we are now geared towards recovery and resiliency. And with the constant calibrating of quarantine restrictions here in the Philippines, the Philippine government is continuously finding ways, as I said, it's a balance on how to ensure the safety of everyone while helping to open up and boost our economy as well. And amidst these challenges, we still believe that there is a silver lining in all of these. And as we navigate through this COVID-19 crisis, many of our fellow Filipinos are considering other sources of income, such as putting up their own business, whether full-time or part-time, in order to make ends meet. So we have seen a lot of home kitchens that have opened up. And if you will look at social media, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of home kitchens have really sprouted up. And business owners, on the other hand, are always on the lookout for new ways on how to keep their companies open or how to expand. Allow me to share my personal experience. I would say that the past months has been the most challenging time of my life. Of course, the COVID-19 crisis was unprecedented in our lifetime, and there is no playbook, there is no rule book on how to navigate this crisis. But also, it has also been the busiest time of my life, probably the same and equaling the time that I started my business 16 years ago in 2004. Since the pandemic and the lockdown really caught everyone off guard, in a matter of days, everything was shut down. So all businesses, both big and small, were affected in a big way. So in effect, for me, this put everyone into equal footing, on equal ground. And the opportunities that were available to everyone, it's a matter of who will act. So to me, I had two takeaways during this crisis. Number one, it was really the time to hustle. Now is not the time to hide under the bed. It was really to hustle. and go out of your comfort zone and look for the opportunities. That's number one. Number two, it was also the time to be prudent because as you know, cash is king. So you have to be still careful. So you have hustle and you be prudent. And quoting PFA chairman's, the founder of PFA, Chairman Emeritus, Dr. Sammy Lim, during his inspirational message in our recently concluded Franchise Asia virtual conference, he said that I believe that from the ashes of the mediocre and fake franchises will emerge a new breed of strong franchisor and franchisees to serve the pent-up demand of the consumer as we enter the golden years of franchising starting 2021 and hitting the peak by 2025. So with this, we still believe that franchising is the best option since you don't have to start from scratch as it follows a system. And this system is usually a proven and established system. In addition, it's important to know that franchising has a higher success rate compared to starting a business on their own. As we say in PFA, you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself in franchising. As one of our advocacies, PFA is always here to help educate the public about wise franchise investments. We are pushing for this now more than ever as we have seen the need to help our fellow Filipinos know the right way to invest in a legitimate brand, especially during these trying times. So having said this, I want to congratulate everyone for attending this webinar as you have already taken the first step in your journey to become your own boss. So I urge you to take this opportunity to listen and learn from our esteemed speakers and industry experts as they share their knowledge and expertise in guiding you through a better understanding of the benefits and advantages of franchising and how they have pivoted to stay afloat and relevant during this crisis. So I hope that you will all stay until the end of this webinar and I'm sure that you will learn so much. So let us keep the bayanihan spirit. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you and arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard Sanz, for your warm greetings for everyone and the message about being prudent and also at the same time hustling at this time of crisis. This afternoon, it is also our pleasure po to have our leader of the Philippine government team in Osaka joining us. Let us please give our warmest welcome to Honorable Maria Eileen Bugarin, our Consul General of the Philippines to Osaka.
Together with the Osaka Philippine Consulate General team, friends in service, warm greetings to all who are joining us today. You may be wondering why we are holding this webinar today. Well, we hear talk from our kababayans on their interest to learn of the different opportunities to make their earnings or savings grow. As we may have heard from Mr. Sanz and Mr. Ang, franchising may be one such opportunity. Thank you to the Philippine Franchise Association and the representatives of select franchise brands for generously sharing their time and experience with us in this seminar. And of course, salamat rin sa ating mga kababayan who are joining us today. Hangad namin na mabigyan kayo ng sapat na impormasyon kung sakasakaling maisipang pasukin ang franchising business. But at the end of the day, nasa inyong mga balikat ang pagpapalago at pag-iingat sa mga pinaghirapang salapi ilalaan sa negosyo. We hope that this seminar will help you make informed decisions should you foray into the franchising business. Thank you and maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Consul General Eileen, for your message. Moving forward po, we are pleased now to introduce this morning our next speaker who will provide us with an overview of the Philippine franchising sector. She was the first Filipina to receive the Asia Pacific Women's Entrepreneur Award from the Confederation of Asia Pacific Chambers of Commerce and Industry. She is a passionate mentor, an author, and a professional speaker on the topics of entrepreneurship, branding, franchising, and strength-based coaching. She authored a book entitled A Small Entrepreneur's Journey, How to Start, Survive, and Succeed. And she also has a second book that she recently launched, which is entitled Yes, the Filipino Brand Can. Our next speaker is a living inspiration that a homegrown brand can level up to greater heights and compete with international businesses. Let us now warmly welcome the founder and chief executive officer of Orispa Solutions Incorporated and the current president of the Philippine Franchise Association, Ms. Cheryl Quintana.
Maraming salamat si Eman. Maraming salamat din kay Honorable Conjen Eileen Bugarin at kay Lab at Beth for facilitating. Of course, maraming salamat for inspiring and paving the way to our chairman Richard Sanz. At very excited tayo, no? Magandang araw na para sa lahat ng mga ating mga kababayan, ang mga bayani na totoo naman talaga that when we come together, we can really rally, support, and contribution for economic recovery, no, ng Pilipinas. And while Rich was saying earlier, no, his takeaways, of course, hustling and being prudent. In fact, the Philippine Franchise Association, when the quarantine started in March 16, we had our first program rolled out already a week after to support the members of the Philippine Franchise Association primarily, but it was open to public. So every week po meron kaming mga programa, hindi lang para sa mga members ng PFA, kundi sa mga Pilipino na gustong magnegosyo. Bakit ba natin ginagawa ito? This is probably, fifth or sixth na Tnk, Trabaho, Negosyo, Kabuhayan na ginawa namin. We had several of these programs rolled out in Europe, in US, in Australia, and other territories. At nagpapasalamat kami sa gobyerno, sa pamahalaan, at ang mga representante natin, yung mga representatives natin, ang ating mga consul generals, embassies, and of course, our trade attaches who made it possible, no, for Philippine Franchise Association to gain awareness hindi lamang sa mga Pilipino na nakabase sa Pilipinas, kundi sa mga katulad ninyo na mga nagtatrabaho at nakabase sa ibang bansa, pero very powerful to help the economic recovery and bouncing back of the Philippines. Paano ba natin ito gagawin, no? Pwede tayong magnegosyo, no? At ako ay tasked to give you an overview of franchising in the Philippines. So simulan na natin. Ano ba ang franchising? A franchising is a strategy to grow our business from one to many in various locations using other people's time, money, and network. So this is from the point of the franchisor, no? Katulad namin, ako may company ako that franchises, which is Orispa. Pero alam niyo po ba, during the pandemic, ito ay first time in my 20 years bilang isang entrepreneur, ay ako din ay nag-franchise ng ibang brands kasi nakita ko na may pangangailangan, yung sinasabi nga that there's a pent-up demand from the consumer, from the public, para yung mga brands at mga goods, for example, and services ay available sa kanilang immediate community. No? Mamaya pag-uusapan natin, kung meron kayong mga questions, i-discuss natin, paano ba na-change ng pandemic yung landscape, no, ng franchising sa Pilipinas. So, franchising is a way to become your own boss by starting a business for yourself but not by yourself. So yan nabanggit kanina. Paano ba yun? No? This is naman from the point of the franchisee. So kung kayo ay magsisimula ng pagnenegosyo by applying for a franchise na established na, yun naman ang definition ng franchising sa inyong perspective. Okay, so ano ba ang franchising as a powerful instrument? So we can create thousands of businesses and millions of jobs through franchising. So halimbawa, katulad ng brand ko at katulad ng mga brands na magpe-present mamaya, kasi po yung mga brand presenters namin dito ay sila yung mga kaya nang magdala ng kanilang mga brands overseas, no, outside the Philippines. So they're already operational in other countries. So katulad kami, 12 other countries kami in operation. Ibig sabihin, kung kayo ay magpa-franchise sa isa sa mga brands na ipepresent mamaya, nakakapanigurado kayo na may kapasidad or capacity ang mga brands na ito. As you all know, at binabanggit nga, maraming salamat si Emma for the vote of support for Philippine Franchise Association. This association is home of the trusted brands in franchising, not just Filipino brands, but also foreign brands coming into the Philippines. Okay, the next slide, I want to give you a brief history. Ano ba ang Philippine Franchise Association? Alam niyo, nung nagsimula rin ako sa franchising, which was 10 years ago, ay wala rin akong nalalaman tungkol sa paano ba ipa-franchise yung aking brand. And this proved to me to be a powerful instrument also to gain franchise partners, not just sa loob ng Pilipinas, but also outside. And we were able to be a national brand in a very short period of time. Bakit? Kasi marami ang mga katulad po ninyo ng mga negosyante, ang isip merong entrepreneurial mindset na pwede pala tayong magtulong-tulungan at mag-franchise ng proven and trusted brand already. Sa pamamagitan din ng leadership ng Philippine Franchise Association, lahat po kami ay mentor din. Yung ginagawa namin ni Rich ngayon is already paying forward also because we have gained a lot of knowledge to navigate this industry through the Philippine Franchise Association. As you've seen in the video, it was founded in 1995. It is the pioneer franchise association in the country. Our membership includes the biggest franchise brand, both local and foreign brands. But 65% of our membership are MSMEs or micro, small, and medium enterprises. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga large corporations, multi-million corporations. Marami kaming members na nagsimula sa franchising at lumago using this business model. So our members, and we can guarantee that, adhere to the fair franchising standards, which is the code of ethics of PFA. And we are, as I've said, home of the country's most trusted franchise brands. So yung mga nakikita natin sa market, when you go to the malls, for example, when you visit the Philippines, and I'm sure pag pumupunta po kayo sa Pilipinas, yung mga nakikita yung big brands na nasa mall, majority of those big brands, if not all, are members of the Philippine Franchise Association. We are the only internationally recognized franchise association of the Philippines, for we are an active member of the World Franchise Council, as well as the Secretariat of the Asia Pacific Franchise Confederation. And Philippine franchising, recently, we are responsible for almost 2,000 franchises in the Philippines, so franchise brands. 66% dito ay homegrown. Ibig sabihin, nagsimula siya sa Pilipinas at lumago siya. So ito yung mga homegrown brands. 34% naman ng members namin are foreign. Ito yung mga big brands na nagsimula noong 1995 pumasok sa Pilipinas. McDonald's, Wendy's, and other franchise brands na makikita niyo. Even the petroleum brands, for example, yung mga gasolinahan na malalaki that are foreign brands, they are part of the foreign brand members of PFA. So we are responsible for over 200,000 outlets. So in the recent years that we've been with PFA, you can see also, yun nga yung hustle, yung pagtatrabaho over the years, nakita namin na kayang-kaya ng ordinaryong Pilipino na merong kaunting savings na magnegosyo at makilahok bilang contributor sa economy. Kaya makikita ninyo karamihan ng mga franchise brands proliferated yan nasa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. So PFA is responsible for over 200,000 franchise outlets in the Philippines and almost 2 million jobs for the Filipinos. Our brands that has gone international is now at 25. Of course, magiging marami pa yan sa inyong tulong at meron kaming target to gain 100 at least Filipino franchise brands going overseas. And our contribution to the GDP 7.8% at the moment. Of course, during the pandemic, itong ating kinakaharap na krisis, ano ang impact nito or experiences natin in the past month. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, marami kaming activities na ginawa. Hindi lang yan mga seminars, even researches. We've done a lot of researches to gain also knowledge. Ano ba nangyayari from the ground? Ano ba ang kailangan ng mga negosyante at this point in time? So the business impact of the COVID-19 in the Philippines has been 82%, very sweeping. 72% expect at the height of the pandemic, kasi itong research na to is at the height of the pandemic. It was done in May. And alam nyo naman, dito sa Pilipinas, nagbukas lang ang maraming outlets ng June. So they were expecting over 50% losses in 2020 revenues. And top concerns has been 85% global recession, kasi hindi lang naman Pilipinas ang nag-undergo or kumakaharap ng ganitong krisis. And there was a lack of consumer confidence. And of course, marami ang nawalan ng trabaho. I'm sure kayo, habang nasa Japan, ay alalang-alala sa inyong mga kapamilya, sa inyong mga kababayan, sa amin na nandito sa Pilipinas, because there was a lot of workforce retrenchment dahil hindi nga kinakaya ng ibang negosyo to continue the employment at merong mga hardly hit industries. But of course, after lifting the ECQ, there are a lot of forecasts from our member entrepreneurs or member brands. And they were willing, even if yung tinatawag natin, duguan na, nahihirapan na sila, nahihirapan na kami during pandemic. Pero sabi nga natin, laban lang. So we were willing to resume mall operations, and a lot of us, in fact, 44% during the forecast, but I know more than 50% were already trying to operate their stores after being closed for quite some time. And marami yung pangangailangan namin for funds to normalize operation. Ayan, 1 million to 20 million ang nagsasabi, 70% of the respondents say 1 to 20 million ang kinakailangan. Alam nyo ba, napakahirap para sa isang branch to embark, for example, sa loans. Kaya sabi nga namin, parang matching lang yan. Mamaya explain sa inyo ng kasama namin sa board, si Director Chris, mamaya explain niya how to invest in the franchise wisely. Kasi very powerful that we come together and our expertise, our experience that we've gained through the years of operating the brands, and for you to have that appetite naman to be your own boss at this moment, we come together rather than pare-pareho tayong mag-dissipate yung hope. And on the next slide, I will be discussing to you that what has been the response of the franchising sector, specifically the members of the Philippine franchising sector during the COVID-19 disruptions. Minsan, pinipigil namin ang mga sarili namin pag sinasabi namin, actually, hindi namin maintindihan na kahit na napakahirap ng mga kinakaharap na problema, there are moments, Alam ko makaka-relate marami sa inyo yung mga may entrepreneurial mindset o yung merong lakas sa pagninegosyo at saka yung sinatawag nating gut feel. Because in every crisis, there's always an opportunity. At sinasabi nga natin, strike while the iron is hot. You have to be prudent, but you have to be open-minded also. Baka ito aking opportunity. Sabi ko nga, kahit ako, this is my first time also na franchiser ako for more than a decade, but the area, marami yung opportunity. Makikita nyo a lot of repurposing for other brands, and meron tayo mga trends na nakikita, no, our yung mga retooling na ginawa, kaya ba nilang maging present doon sa area na kung saan gusto mong mag-operate, o yung mga kapamilya mo na mag-ooperate, for example, with you dito sa Pilipinas? Has there been pivoting also? So this has been the tools on how the members of the Philippine Franchise Association, yung mga brands na makikita ninyo, ang daming ginagawang hassle nga, no? Yung pagtatrabaho, ibig sabihin yung sa term natin medyo malalim, no? Pero yung pagpupunyagi natin beyond the crisis. And a lot has been going digital. So of course, you should see that the brands can be contacted digitally. May yung sistema sila, yung mga tao, yung team nila are able to respond to you quickly kasi syempre po malayo kayo. So this has been how we were able to respond effectively with the COVID-19. Ito ang pinakamatinding krisis na naranasan hindi lang ng Pilipinas kundi ng buong mundo at lahat ng negosyante. Kung ang mga brands na ito at least ay buhay pa after the several months of lockdowns, quarantines, ay matatatag na brands yan. At lalong-lalo na kung nag-grow pa, no? Katulad sa amin, may mga expansions pa kaming ginagawa, yung mga kasama natin dito mamaya na magpe-present, very active pang nakakapag-expand. So, ibig sabihin, ang tawag natin ay battle-tested brands. Next slide po ay ano ba yung mga drivers? Ayun, nabanggit ko kanina sa sobrang excitement ko because a lot of our people are being masunuri naman ng mga Pilipino to stay home and stay safe. So, meron tayong mga pagkakataon, 1 or 2 people lang from our families can go out, no, buy groceries, buy our needs, and get services, for example, and going local and hyper-local. Nakakatuwa nga, no, yung advocacy ko din na yes, the Filipino brand can, and also with the Philippine Franchise Association's support for homegrown brands, ay nakita natin, no, yung pandemic actually has been a, sabi nga kanina ni Rich, silver lining. Ang silver lining na nakita natin is there has been now a purposive opportunity or yung attention natin, hindi lang pala mga foreign brands, kundi yung mga Filipino brands na buhay at namamayagpag during the pandemic ay pwedeng-pwede natin na ipatronize, no? And of course, globalization through digitalization. So makikita nyo, mamaya yung mga brands natin, hindi na siya very traditional na magpa-franchise ka, kailangan kang mag-set up ng iyong location, ng iyong store, na ang tawag natin doon ay brick and mortar. You can actually have avail of other programs as reseller, for example, as a franchise distributor, and we can always do a lot of pivoting through globalization, through digitalization. Okay, so bakit nga ba may mga pagkakataon, no, maraming pagkakataon na excited tayo at binabanggit kanina ng kasama ko, no, si Rich, yung chairman namin, sabi niya, the golden years of franchising. Because the best is yet to come. Ako nga ay palagi ko yan sinasabi kahit sa mga mentoring programs namin, yung tumutulong kami sa ibang mga negosyante that hindi lang mga startup, yung mga na-stuck sila, paano ba natin i-grow ito, no? 10 years na kami nagne-negosyo, paano natin palalakihin? Sinasabi ko nga, the vision has not changed. The Philippine Franchise Association has remained to be the same and the Philippines to be the hub of franchising in Asia. Malamang marami kami mga activities, plano na hindi na natuloy, no, during the pandemic, but hindi ibig sabihin that you change the vision. We just changed the strategy, but we still remain to see that the golden years of franchising in the Philippines is yet to come. So the best is yet to come. The availability of vacant retail spaces now, you can bargain a lot, of course, for landlords. We now have a biggest pool of potential franchisees, hindi lang katulad halimbawa ng ninyo no, na nakabase sa ibang bansa at gustong magnegosyo dito. Marami rin palagay ko ang mga kilala ninyo na nawalan ng trabaho at meron silang kaunting savings na natanggap at they can start to be a franchisee. No? They can be their own boss at the moment. Ano yung mga opportunities in the new normal? Kasi nag-change yung landscape. Of course, pagkain is laging a winner. Yung nga nasabi natin, food is like a red ocean. Napakalaki ng competition. So hindi ibig sabihin na pag nagnegosyo kayo sa food ay sure ball yan, 100%. But of course, this has been the opportunities, no? The fresh produce, there is an delivery, take-out, and drive-thru services. So ito yung mga pivoting, kailangan yung tanungin yan doon sa mga brands. So ready-to-eat meals, at binabanggit nga kanina, yung mga cloud kitchens or dark kitchens. And of course, alam nyo, dahil nga natakot tayo no para sa mga sarili natin at para sa pamilya natin. Now we're going back to healthier food options. Hindi na natin masyadong gusto yung maraming mga chemicals yung kinakain. So, of course, there has also been new opportunities in retail. Nag-iba yung landscape sa retail. Hindi na kinakailangan lumabas ka ng bahay para makapag-shopping ka. So, in the retail landscape, you see a lot of opportunities in health products, beauty products, affordable indulgences. Ito yung tinatawag natin sa economy na lipstick effect, no? Sa una, lahat tayo gusto lang natin bilhin ang basic necessity. But of course, it is our nature to seek indulgences, especially tinitingnan ko nga yung mga anak ko, no? Matagal sila nasa bahay. So, kaligayahan nila na meron silang mga indulgences na mura lang, na kaya namang bilhin, kayang i-afford, para magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating mental sanity, no? Habang tayo ay hindi pa pwedeng lumabas yung ibang mga age groups na mga kapamilya natin. And of course, a lot of opportunities in the service sector. So the three major sectors in the franchising sector is food, retail, and service. So service, ito yung nakikita ninyo sa screen. Clinics, laundry services, housekeeping, kasi hindi na natin, hindi na ganun kauso no, na merong mga helpers laging kasama sa bahay, yung mga kapamilya natin. So, homeschooling at microfinance. With that, maraming salamat po. I wish you the best to shop now. At makinig po tayo doon sa mga brands na magpe-present mamaya. And I wish you the best to become the new boss, to become mga bayani ng Pilipinas for our recovery, economic recovery, and bounce back. Maraming salamat po. Yes, the Filipino brand can always.
Maraming salamat po, Ms. Cheryl, for the overview on Philippine franchising. No? And I think one of the most important things you conveyed is the feeling that for many of the overseas Filipinos who want to invest in franchising, it's reassuring that they have an organization like the PFA whom they can turn to if they need advice and assistance, and that PFA has conveyed that they are very steadfast in trying to promote responsible franchising. No? So at least for many of the people here, kasi they feel disconnected with the things in the Philippines, so they are afraid that baka maloko sila or they might choose the wrong franchise brands. No? So trustworthiness is something I think many of our participants can depend on when they go to franchising in the Philippines through the Philippine Franchise Association members. Salamat po. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce our main resource speaker po. He is a recognized leader in the franchising industry. He is an author and a multi-awarded marketer. He spent over a decade growing brands globally for Unilever, based in London, Bangkok, Shanghai, Manila, and Cebu. He has co-authored the first franchising book in the Philippines entitled 12 Strategies of Franchising. He is now the CEO of FranCorp Philippines, which is the Philippines' largest franchise development consultancy, and the president of U-Franchise, the Philippines' largest franchise matching company. Right now, he is also the director for ASEAN and special projects in the Philippine Franchise Association. Please let us welcome our good friend, Mr. Chris Lim.
Thank you very much, Eman. And of course, to Polo Osaka and to everyone here, good afternoon to all of you. Super happy to be here. I'll be talking a bit about how to invest in a franchise. Narinig nyo niya from She kanina, a bit about franchising and really the differences of what a franchise is and nangyayari sa new normal. So gusto ko naman pag-usapan a bit more, paano nga kayo pipili ng franchise? And you know, madalas namin ginagawa yung event na to. So we do a lot of these events both in the Philippines and around the world and right now in a lot of webinars. And kaya natin ginagawa to is because of this. The idea na if you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. So ang dream talaga to be an entrepreneur is to build your own dream, something that you're building, something that you can give to your children or you can give to other, to pass on to people. And sinabi na ni She na franchising is really one of the most, we have over 1,800 brands here. And my definition kanina si President She about franchising. But I want to simplify it. Sa mga dito na medyo ngayon lang nagpa-franchise o ngayon lang tinitingnan, ang simpleng definition ng franchising ay duplicating the success of a successful business. So let's say may nabalitaan kayo sa Pilipinas na very successful business. Whether restaurant yan na laging puno, spa na laging maraming tao, one of the new businesses, micro-lending na yung mga kaibigan nyo, kumita ng marami. Ang ginagawa ng franchising ay inuulit nyo lang ang ginagawa nila. So you're duplicating the success. You're in a business for yourself, but not by yourself. So dahil inuulit nyo lang yung business, tinuturuan kayo paano gawin yung business na yan. Importante to kasi marami sa atin nagtatanong, okay ba tong franchise? Okay ba tong franchise? Ang unang tatanungin nyo ay, kumikita ba yung franchise? Successful ba yung franchise? Kasi kung hindi kumikita yung business na yun, uulitin nyo lang yung failure nila. So unang-una ay, make sure it's a successful business. And ang beauty talaga ng franchising ay, when you open a franchise, sa inyo yung store. Kung nag-open ka ng Jollibee bukas, sa'yo yung branch na yun. Hindi ikaw may-ari ng Jollibee na buong brand, pero ikaw may-ari ng branch na yun. Pero kung may problema ka, pupuntahan ka, pwede kang puntahan ng may-ari, pwede kang puntahan ng mga tao niya para tulungan ka. And that's the idea of franchising. Maitatakbo kang business for yourself, pero hindi ka nag-iisa. And kaya alam mo, ang franchising has a very high success rate. May tanong ako. So punta kayo dyan sa chat box niyo. Sa baba makikita niyo may chat box kayo. Ang tanong ko sa inyo, kung may negosyo kayo or kahit wala kayong negosyo, anong sa tingin niyo ang success rate na kung magsimula ka ng sarili mong negosyo? So kung magbukas ka ng bagong negosyo, sa tingin niyo ilang percent chance na magsasucceed yan? Lagay lang kayo, punta kayo dyan sa chat box, sa baba, may chat function. I-guess nyo lang, ilang percentage ang guess nyo na magsasucceed? May nag-guess na 10%. Other people, anong guess nyo na magsasucceed in traditional retail? May sabi 50%. Si Reverie, Raquel, nagsabi 1%. Melvin Morata, 20%. So a few people, may mga 60 and 40. Si Andres, 40%. Hugo, 50%. Ang answer, based on a USAID study, ay 25%. So pag nagsimula kayo bukas ng bagong negosyo, from scratch, gagawin nyo lahat from scratch, ang success rate niyan ay 25%. Meaning out of every 10 na magbukas, 2 o 3. So ngayon, may over 100 people tayo. Kung nagbukas tayo ng 100 businesses, mga 25 lang ang magsasurvive niyan. 25%. Sige, iibahin ko yung tanong. Balik uli kayo sa chat box nyo. So 25% ang success rate ng traditional retail na mag-start ng sariling business. Ang franchising, sa tingin nyo, ano ang success rate? Kung nagbukas ka ng franchise bukas, based on a USAID study globally, ano ang success rate ng franchising? May mga guess ba tayo? May 30%, may 80%, 70%. Si Cynthia said 50%. So some good guesses there. The answer, and I'll show you that in the next slide, is 90%. Alam nyo, based on a study, 90% ang success rate ng franchising. Ang dahilan niyan ay yung definition ng franchising. Kasi you're duplicating a successful business. May successful na business na, inuulit mo lang ang ginagawa nila. Tinutulungan ka. You're in a business for yourself, but not by yourself. And importante dyan, ang franchising ay may 5 elements. So minsan may nagtatanong sa amin, franchise ba talaga to? Okay ba to? Ang any franchise dapat may 5 element na to. So yan yung unang-unang kailangan yung siguraduhin na meron. Una is the use of the name. When it comes to franchising, binibigyan kayo ng right to use the name. Whether Jollibee yan, Max, Bench, Generics Pharmacy. Imagine from day one, meron na kayong access to the name that they built. I spent 10 years working for Unilever. Actually, I was working in Shanghai and working in Tokyo back then. I was handling yung Lux Hair Care. Alam ko yan, yung one of the biggest hair care brands dyan sa Japan. So I was handling that. We spend millions of euros, of dollars in branding. Ang maganda sa franchising is from day one, meron na kayong access sa brand na yan. So that's one of the reasons for that 90% success rate. Pero importante din, hindi lang pangalan, may sistema. So pagdating sa franchising, you get the use of the system and procedures. Kasi kahit binigyan kayo ng pangalan, nakakuha kayo ng Jollibee, hindi kayo tinuruan magluto ng Chicken Joy, it's not going to last very long. You have to learn everything. May operations manual yan. Usually, it's a few hundred pages long. Makapal yan. Systems and procedures, ano yung openings, closing procedures, how you prepare, how you market, pati yung mga HR, kasama lahat yan. Mga produkto, marketing campaign, store design, merchandising, ongoing support. So pagdating sa franchising, may package na yan. Yung pangalan, yung sistema, yung suporta. Dapat meron to para maging franchise. But ang babalikin nyo kayo, mga franchisee, yung mga bibili ng franchise, ay money, time, at yung mga tao ninyo at mga connections ninyo. Unang-una, pagdating sa pera, ay franchise fee. So magbabayad kayo ng franchise fee. Ang franchise fee, upfront yan. Makikita niyo, magpe-present mamaya. Hindi sikreto yan na may franchise, pakita na nila yung franchise fee. Kasi, ang dahilan na binabayad yan ay the use of the name, use of the system, pati kasi tuturuan kayo. Pupuntahan yung location nyo, ite-training kayo at mga tao ninyo. Yan yung franchise fee kasi malaki din ang gastos nila. Second ay kapital. Of course, hindi lang franchise fee ang babayaran nyo. Yung kapital, bibili kayo ng produkto, bibuild ninyo yung store. So, pupuhunan nyo ang negosyo. Pagkatapos niyan ay may royalty. So, ang royalty ay percentage ng sales. So, typically, kung let's say, sinabi sa inyo, 5% ang royalty. Kung nakabenta ka ng 100,000 this month, 5,000 yan, pupunta sa franchisor. Ang dahilan ng royalty ay because may ongoing support sila sa inyo. But at the same time, dyan din sila kumikita ng pera. Ang maganda sa royalty, and kaya may 90% success rate ang franchise, ay dahil sa royalty, kayong may-ari ng franchise, gusto nyong kumita ang business nyo, gusto nyong lumaki ang benta, pero yung franchisor din, gusto rin lumaki ang benta. Kasi kung lumaki ang benta nyo, lumalaki din ang kita niya. Kaya dalawa kayong nagpapalago ng business, tumitingin, paano lumaki to? Paano magiging mas successful ang business? And then, meron ding advertising fee na binabayad nyo para i-advertise nila, ipalaki pa nila yung brand, at bumibili kayo ng produkto from the franchisor. I'm sure may mga questions kayo. Pag may questions kayo, may Q&A box dyan. Maglagay lang kayo ng question. Either isasagot natin sa Q&A mamaya or i-type ko na lang sasagutin kayo directly. So if may questions kayo about yung mga fees, ano ba ang franchise fee, capital, royalty, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa Q&A box. Aside from money, yung binayarang pera, oras nyo din. Siyempre, ilalagay nyo ang oras nyo at yung mga connections nyo. Now, since based kayo sa Osaka or around Japan or around the world, alam ko ito yung mahirap kasi baka wala naman kayo sa Pilipinas. Ang importante sa oras ay hindi naman kayo kailangan na sa store mismo. kung may partner kayo na nagtatakbo ng store, at least ang oras na kailangan nyo ilagay ay binabantayan nyo. Whether babantayan nyo na yung benta, tama ba? Tumataas ba? Yung cost, tama ba? O masyado bang mataas ang expenses? Dapat kahit anong business, babantayan nyo rin. Hindi ito, ibang-iba to sa pagbili ng apartment. Mga iba, nag-invest sa apartment, iwan nyo lang yan. May broker, bahala na sila magparenta. Hindi ito parang apartment. Kasi kailangan at least weekly, every 2 weeks, every month, binabantayan nyo. Titingnan nyo yung bumibenta ba? Kung bumaba yung benta, bakit? Kakausapin niya yung nagpapatakbo o kakausapin niya yung franchisor. So, kailangan din kayo, money, time, at yung mga connections ninyo. As I said, kung may tanong kayo, feel free, magtanong lang kayo dyan sa chat box. Sa Q&A box pala, sa Q&A box. Now, maraming benefits ang franchising. Pinag-usapan na yung strong brand name, yung sistema, yung marketing. Ang isa dyan ay product research and development. Alam nyo, ang Potato Corner, 27 years na sa Pilipinas. Pero sa tingin nyo, after 27 years, ano pa rin yung pinaka-popular nilang flavors? Anong pinaka-popular flavors ng Potato Corner? Lagay natin dyan sa chat box. Sa tingin nyo, anong mga sikat na flavors ng Potato Corner? Ayan, si Reverie, barbecue cheese. Leo, barbecue. You're right. Alam mo, some of the most popular flavors pa rin, barbecue, sour cream, cheese. Yan, si Bernardo tsaka sa Cresita nagsabi, cheese, barbecue, sour cream. Tama kayo, yan yung mga mas popular na flavors. After 20 plus years, yan pa rin ang popular nilang flavor. Pero kahit na popular yung flavor na yan, gumagawa pa rin sila ng bagong flavor. Anong mga bagong flavor nila? Na may natikman ba kayo o baka narinig nyo, nakita nyo sa Facebook, anong mga bagong flavor nila? Mga bagong flavor ni Potato Corner. Truffle, yan. Itong si Reverie Raquel, mukhang siya yung mahilig talaga sa Potato Corner. Unang-unang sumasagot. Truffle, I love that flavor. Meron din silang mga chili barbecue. Meron din silang maraming bagong produkto. Yan yung maganda sa franchising. Kasi kung magbukas ka ng sarili mong french fry store, mahirap gumawa ng bagong mga produkto. Pero since kasama ka sa isang franchise na maraming stores, gumagawa sila, ang ginagawa nila, silang naghahanap, silang mag-experiment, silang magbibigay na lang sa'yo, bebenta nyo na lang. Yan yung beauty ng franchising. Of course, yung experience, support, tsaka yung profit potential. So, at least pwede nila kayo bigyan ng projections kung ano ang magiging possible profit ng franchise ninyo. Now, just a few things. Baka kayong naghahanap ng franchise, things to ask the franchisor. Unang-una, intindihin nyo bakit sila pinipili ng customer. Sabi ko, you have to franchise something na successful. So, intindihin nyo, paano sila nagiging successful? Pinupuntahan ba talaga sila ng mga tao? Malakas ba talaga yung brand nila? Of course, anong suporta ang ibibigay? Ang suporta, hindi lang training. Pag sinabi nila, ang suporta sa inyo, training lang. Tapos kayo na bahala, kaya nyo na yan. Hindi yan franchise. Kasi ang franchising that may ongoing support. Tingnan nyo yung financial profitability at payback period. So, kung nag-invest ako ng 1 million pesos, gaano katagal bago ko makuha to? Ang isang sakit na tanong, lagi tinatanong sa akin, how long nga ba dapat ang payback? Bibigyan ko kayo ng rule of thumb. Meaning, iba-iba naman sa lahat yan. Pero kung under 1 million ang investment nyo, gusto mong payback mga in 18 months. So, mga 1.5 years. Kung nag-invest ka ng between 1 to 5 million, baka ang payback mo 2 to 3 years. Kung over 5 million pesos 5 million pesos, ang payback mo mga 3 to 5 years. So, very rule of thumb lang yan. Tingnan nyo. Mga yan yung mga ranges. And then, of course, yung locations din, what locations work best? And itanong nyo, PFA member ba sila? So member ba sila ng Philippine Franchise Association? Or si Francorp ba? Or may professional bang gumawa ng franchise program nila? Importante sa franchising, are committed sila. Kung alam mong member sila ng PFA, kung alam mong they spent almost a year working with a franchise consultant, alam mong very serious sila about franchising and susuportahan kayo. Now, we talked a bit about yung questions to ask the franchisor. How about yung questions naman to ask yourself? So, few things na tatanungin nyo sarili nyo, just to help you narrow down. You know, my 1,800 options, ang goal namin sa U-Franchise, we're a franchise matching company kasi, is to help you narrow that down. And even today, after today's, I'm hoping na umalis kayo dito with maybe 2 or 3 ideas na lang. Hindi 1,000 ideas kasi mahirap mahanap yun. Ang unang makakatulong is, how much are you willing to invest? Is it 500,000 pesos, 1 million pesos, 5 million pesos? By choosing how much you're willing to invest, mananarrow down mo na ng konti ang options mo. So unang, intindihin niyo yan. Second is, may oras ba kayo to manage the business? Now, kung ang plano niyo ay to stay in Osaka or wherever you are, may partner ba kayo na may oras who can manage the business? Ang franchise hindi autopilot, kailangan pa rin takbuhin. So dapat may magpapatakbo. Number 3, kaya nyo ba mag-follow ng systems? Ang franchising bibigyan kayo ng systems, ng mga manual. Make sure you're able to follow the systems. Kasi hindi pwedeng i-imbentohin nyo lahat. Kaya nga kayo nag-franchise, you're duplicating, replicating a successful business. Of course, makakahanap pa kayo ng locations. And do you have experience leading people or managing customers? So may experience ba kayo? Kasi kahit anong business yan, kung food business, hindi naman kailangan na nagpatakbo na kayo ng food business. Pero at least may experience kayo leading people, managing customers. So ask yourself a few of these questions kasi importante to when you get into franchising. Now, I'm going on to my last few slides. Just 3 tips lang for overseas Filipinos. Unang-una, when you get into franchising, don't give a franchise as a gift. Huwag kayong bibili ng franchise at sasabihin nyo sa anak nyo, sa kapatid nyo, pamangkin nyo, oy, regalo ko to sa inyo, itakbo nyo. Okay lang kapag gusto nyo kayong mamumuhunan. Kasi siyempre, mas gusto nyo pag magpapadala kayo ng pera dito, at least sa negosyo nalalago pa yung perang yun. Pero make sure kung may local partner kayo, relative man yan, kaibigan man yan, unang-una, huwag nyo bibigay lang sa kanila. Pa-co-invest nyo. Maglagay lang sila ng pera kahit 1%, 5%. At least talagang, alam mong committed sila. Kasi pag binigay nyong libre yan, tatakbuhin nila. Kung hindi gumana, edi okay lang. Pero kung gumana, edi okay lang din. Pero pag naglagay sila ng pera, sinama nyo sa decision-making process. Sinama nyo sa paghanap. So kung talagang papasok kayo sa franchising, pagkausap nyo kausapin nyo yung mga franchises, isama nyo na yung co-investor nyo para mag-decide kayo. Second, use technology to monitor the company. As I said, hindi naman, kung kumuha kayo ng potato corner na franchise, hindi naman kailangan kayo nagluluto ng patatas. But monitor nyo yung company, whether that's through CCTV cameras, may mga cloud-based POS systems, para alam nyo magkano yung benta. At kung nakita nyo may mga ilang araw na bakit ang baba na ng benta, dapat kinakausap nyo yung nagpapatakbo, yung tao nyo, para alam nyo baka may kailangang ayusin. Isa pa is have a buffer fund. Huwag nyong i-invest yung buong life savings nyo. Tinanong ko kanina, magkano ba gusto nyong invest? Now, kung 1 million ang life savings nyo, wag 1 million ang i-invest nyo. Kasi with any franchise, may risk pa rin yan. I said it's 90% success rate. It's a very high success rate. Pero may mga sumasara pa rin dyan. And minsan din, of course, di natin alam kung nagkaka-pandemic, kung ano mangyari. Make sure you have enough of a buffer fund para kung bumaba nga konti yung business, kaya mo palagyan ng cash para antayin mong mag-grow ulit. So these are just a few tips for you. And I forgot, there's a bonus tip. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. This is true for franchising and anything, yung mga investment scams, ganyan. Kung may nakita kayong franchise na parang it's too good to be true, mura-mura, tapos ang dami-dami kong pera, wala akong kailangang gawin, go-grow lang, malamang hindi totoo yan. So if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Intindihin nyo lagi, how does the business make money? Paano kayo kikita? Marami ngayon mga online franchise, so may mga natanong sa okay ba yun? Okay ba yun? I can't say if it's okay or not. Ang question dapat nyo tingnan is, kung magbukas ka ng online store, paano ka kikita? Meron ka bang captured market? May differentiation ka ba sa ibang mga online store? So you have to understand how will the business make money. Okay, very critical yan when it comes to franchising. Now, just a few last words. Nagtanong ako kasi I talked a lot about franchising. Nagtanong ako sa isang franchisee, si Ricky Batung. He has over 60 stores of franchises. Ang tanong is, anong okay and how do you invest? Anong advice mo? And sabi niya ito, be decisive. If there's an opportunity, don't hesitate to grab it. Ang franchising, ang importante ay mag-decide tayo. With that, I wanted to thank all of you. I'm Chris. I'm from U Franchise. If you had more questions, just email us franchising@ufranchiseasia.com. Thank you, everyone.
Maraming salamat po Mr. Chris for that very insightful presentation. We shall now proceed to the franchise brand presentations. To start off, our first presenter aims to put a big smile on each customer by providing good quality and affordable brand. Let us welcome the Business Development Manager of Big Smile Bread Station, Mr. Raymart Manalo.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Magandang hapon po. Salamat Ms. Elizabeth for the introduction. So again, good afternoon to everyone, especially dun sa mga fellow kababayans natin in Japan. Okay, so sana po lahat tayo ay safe kung nasan man tayo ngayon, and for the next 5 minutes or so, I'll be talking about the franchise business opportunity of Big Smile Bread Station by Gardenia. So siguro dun sa mga kababayan natin sa Japan, most of you are not that familiar with the brand Big Smile initially. But siguro for the brand Gardenia, you've heard a lot about Gardenia, narinig na siya, nung nasa Pilipinas kayo, nakita nyo na, and I'm sure natikman nyo na yung mga produkto na meron kami sa Gardenia. Okay? So I'll begin my presentation by giving you a brief overview lang or background about Big Smile Bread Station. So my next slide, I'll be showing to you the quick overview lang kung sino ba, at ipapakilala ko sa inyo kung sino ba si Big Smile Bread Station by Gardenia. So as mentioned earlier, Big Smile Bread Station is actually a brand or a business unit under Gardenia Bakeries Philippines. So dito sa Pilipinas, Gardenia is the leading and the #1 bread manufacturer in the country. Currently, I think we account for about 70 to 80% of the market share in the bread industry. So ibig sabihin, pag ang pinag-usapan ho natin ay paggawa ng tinapay with high quality, si Gardenia yung #1 na pumapasok sa minds ng mga consumers or ng mga customers, especially Filipinos. So yun, so we are a proud brand, or we are a proud business unit under the Gardenia brand or the Gardenia Bakeries company. So basically, ano ba yung konsepto or ano ba yung modelo ng Big Smile? Ano ba yung business model that Big Smile Bread Station has? So for Big Smile, it's quite simple lang po. Simple lang and straightforward lang po yung business model namin. So for Big Smile, we are basically a neighborhood bakery. So we are a neighborhood bread station and a neighborhood bake shop. Wherein, as compared to a traditional bakery, ang konsepto po namin, wala po kaming on-site baking. So to tell you more about on-site baking, ano ba ibig sabihin ng on-site baking? For a traditional bakery ho kasi, normally ang #1 priority natin is to look for our own baker. Meaning, kung magbukas ka ng bakery, kailangan meron kang sarili mong panadero. He is the one in charge on the production of your breads. Kasi kung wala kang panadero, obviously hindi ka makakapagbenta for a traditional bakery. Pero sa amin po, we eliminated that particular challenge of hiring a baker, in which case, no on-site baking po kami. So we took advantage and we maximized the expertise of Gardenia. Since si Gardenia is kilala po sa pagbe-bake ng high-quality breads, so ginamit namin yung expertise ni Gardenia in order to produce quality bakery bread products na hindi mo na kailangan i-bake on-site. Kami na po sa Gardenia, sa commissary namin, we will produce the products and we will deliver the products or the breads, the quality products, to the outlets that we have within the country. So yun po yung konsepto namin. So in terms of operations, mas madali pong i-operate as compared to a traditional bakery. So that's basically the business model or the concept of Big Smile Bread Station. Okay? So yun, moving forward naman po, when we talk about the franchise opportunity that we have, On my next slide, I will show you the different franchise investment models or the different franchise models that Big Smile has. Okay. So currently we have 4 major franchise investment models that you can choose from. So kung meron po mga OFW po natin na kababayan sa Japan, if you are that person that is actually looking for a possible business opportunity here in the Philippines, so ito yung mga franchise models ni Big Smile na pwede mong pagpilian. So number 1, we have we call it the Fit Out Kiosk. So we have the Fit Out Kiosk franchise. Yung investment mo dito will cost you around 336,000, all-in package na po siya. Then we also have the Outdoor Kiosk format. Dito naman po ang investment natin is around 430,000. Then we also have the Indoor Cart. So it will cost you roughly around 270,000. And lastly, we have the new, this is actually our new franchise offering, which is best suitable also for our OFW na medyo, kumbaga in terms of capital or budget, very or limited lang muna, or medyo you would want to test the water first. Pwedeng sa'yo itong micro franchise package namin. Yung micro franchise package po namin, this is our new franchise offering, which will only cost you around 120,000. So for our 120,000 total investment for our micro franchise package, you can start your own bakery business. So that's something po na pwede nyong i-take advantage yung bago naming offering. So yun. The next slide, please. Okay. To be able to support po our franchisees, we have a different franchise support program. Number 1 is we don't have royalty fee. So I think we are one of the few businesses or one of the few franchise businesses who doesn't charge our royalty fee. So this is a way for us to support our franchisees, both yung current franchises namin and then yung future franchises namin. And then we also offer our franchise fee buy one take one. So for a franchise fee of 1, you can open 2 stores for a franchise fee of 1. So free na po yung second franchise fee natin. So that's another support program that we have. And then since bread station po kami, we also offer 100% bread exchange subsidy for the first few months of operations. So that's for Big Smile. And then siguro lastly to end my talk lang, mentioned earlier din kasi that 90% success rate nga po si franchising, and then one of the formats po for our franchise is yung food. So since we are part of the food business din po, so you might want to consider our brand as well. And then yung products natin is actually staple. So consider siya as staple food, meaning regular siyang binibili ng market. So in terms of pivoting towards this crisis that we have, we are one of the very few brands din na medyo naka-pivot ng maganda during the pandemic, since staple or tinapay nga yung binebenta namin. So that's for Big Smile. And then, by the way, we also have our bakery cafe concept, also part of the Gardenia family. You can check out our Baker's Mason concept as well. So yeah, I think we have our Q&A portion later. So for those of you who have questions then for Big Smile, feel free to contact us through my number on the slides and during the Q&A portion later po. So that ends my presentation. Again, salamat po sa pag-invite sa amin, and I hope everybody enjoy the rest of the day. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manalo. Our next brand is an advocate of healthy diet. Its concept is to provide freshly pressed juices, thereby maintaining the nutritional contents of the fruit. Let us welcome the president of Citrozone, Mr. Don Sanita.
Hello, magandang hapon po sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon sa webinar na ito. Una, gusto ko na yung pasalamat sa DTI, sa Office of the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, sa Polo, Osaka, and of course sa PFA sa pag-imbita po sa amin. Of course kay Ma'am Beth sa introduction ng Citrozone. At nagpapasalamat din po kami sa lahat ng mga naka-tune in sa webinar this afternoon. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. I am Don Sinita. I am the President and the Director for Business Development of Citrozone. So to start po my presentation, I'll just be giving a brief overview of what Citrozone Refreshment is all about. So si Citrozone po We started in 2015 as a sole proprietorship, and then in 2016, we incorporated the business and we opened the brand for franchise. So ang goal talaga ng Citrozone is to provide customers with healthy food options. With the onset of fast food, junk food, we have seen the gap between what we need in terms of taking care of ourselves, especially at this point in time kung saan really health is wealth, no? Ang pinakamagandang defense natin against sickness is really taking care of our body and our immune system. So the whole business of Citrozone Refreshment, we have 3 brands under us, are all healthy. We are anchored on the business of healthy food and beverage, which is growing significantly since 2017, and we expect the same growth in the next years to come. Can we proceed to the next slide, please? So we see the growth in natural and healthy food and beverage globally, including Asia Pacific, and we are projecting that natural drinks will dominate this market, mainly because it is easy to consume, and for business, it's easy to prepare, and at the same time, it's very on the go. Madali siyang makonsume for our, and at the same time, it's also easier absorbed ng katawan natin, yung health benefits of the juices. No? Next slide, please. Like I mentioned, ang goal talaga ng Citrozone is to provide customers with healthy and promote healthy lifestyle, no, through our freshly pressed juices, which are delicious. We have a mix that we follow across all stores. Nutritious kasi we use all natural ingredients. Affordable kasi we are among the more affordable juice concepts in the Philippines. At the same time, accessible kasi we really want more people to have access to our products. We launched the franchise in July 2016, and we've been featured several times sa Entrepreneur PH tsaka sa wheninmanila.com. Next slide, please. So ito yung lineup of products sa Citrozone. Citrozone is a single product concept, no, which makes managing the product very targeted. Okay, at the same time, it's also very focused and very easy to operate para po sa aming mga franchisees. Although tayo a single product, we do freshly pressed lemonades. We offer our customers a selection to make the lemon even more healthy. No, lemon is a very potent, it's a very healthy fruit, and we are maximizing the health benefits of the lemon. We have 2 basic variants. We have the lemon, where we use our in-house sweetener. Then we also have our honey lemon para mas lalo pa natin gawing healthy yung lemon. Our price starts at 44 pesos, which is very affordable. We also have locations in schools, commercial spaces, and they're doing well. Meron din tayong mga add-ons. Add-ons is yung ating mga parang flavors, no, sa ating mga lemonade. We introduce new add-ons every quarter. On the average, we started with tea and ginger cayenne pepper, which are still our best-selling items even to now since we started. We have our coffee vanilla when we started operating in call centers. We have lychee chia for the health buff talaga. We have cucumber mint, apple cinnamon. We also have our lemon tea-based line. We call it the Zen Coolers. Meron tayong lavender, butterfly pea, organic matcha. We also have our toppings like the fruit drops or like para silang mga boba but healthier kasi we don't use yung mga very sugary toppings. These are all natural juices as well. We also have our yogurt add-ons dyan. Recently, during the pandemic, we introduced our latte line, which also uses lemonades. So we call it the lemon latte line. We have our lemon cafe latte and lemon matcha latte. For bigger stores, kasi we also have our takeout counters kung saan allowed yung cooking in those locations. We also have our food, healthy food options such as our chicken wrap, no, which is also filled with vegetables that makes consuming it also a part of your healthy habit. Next slide, please. So we are present in major malls in the Philippines, in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. These are some of the locations that we are present at. We also operate in commercial locations, in schools, in offices, in BPOs, so our customers are able to access the product. Next slide, please. For our the online delivery platforms is part, of course, of our pivoting. Actually, even before the COVID naman, we already delivered to our customers. But right now, we strengthen that even more. We are in partnership with GrabFood, Foodpanda, Lala Food. We also have our Messenger and Facebook and Instagram stores to allow delivery of the products kahit saan yung mga customers. We also have a customer loyalty or cashback program to encourage even more purchases from our loyal customers. We also sell digital vouchers which are redeemable in store or through deliveries with Lazada, Shopee, as well as for all our SM located stores. We have a special SM Advantage card promotion for all our SM card holders na mga customers. Next slide, please. For the franchise package of Citrozone, ito po yung standard package natin. We have 2 sizes. We have a 4 square meter and we have 6 square meter sizes. We start at our turnkey package at 290,000 pesos for a 4 square meter and 350,000 pesos naman po para sa ating 6 square meters. This already includes the franchise fee, the cart, the juicing equipment, crew training, crew uniform, and initial inventory. So in a nutshell, once the franchise is rolled out to you, it's ready to operate na. So ang isipin nyo na lang will be your business registrations, hiring of crew, which we of course assist you din naman. To process and to make sure that your store succeeds. We have a royalty fee of 3% for the continuing service kasi meron po tayong mga account officers assigned to you. We have a national marketing fund of 1% which we use for our system-wide marketing, and local marketing fund of 2% which we don't collect. We just request all our franchisees to allocate a portion of your sales in your local marketing. It could be free drinks, it could be tarpaulins, to make sure na lagi kayong top of mind ng ating mga consumers. No? Our term of franchise is 3 years, so, and then renewable po siya after 3 years. Next slide, please. Right now, we have a franchise promotion para po sa ating mga viewers. We have our 2-in-1 franchise package wherein ang isang franchisee po will be able to operate 2 stores for the price of 1 franchise package. We call it the 2-in-1 commercial and community store, kung saan pwede kang mag-operate ng commercial store mo in a specific commercial center like malls or kung saan man. At the same time, you can also operate a community store. So ang kasama po dito sa package natin is the franchise fee. You have a standard 4 square meter cart. Meron din tayong pop-up cart para sa inyong mga communities. Let's say you want to install that outside of your homes or near your subdivisions. The juicing equipments are included already. Initial inventories included already. Training and uniforms included already. Also, during this pandemic, part of our support that we gave to our franchisees is that we waived all royalty fees. They're enjoying royalty fee, even those yung mga operating at this point in time. Actually, nag-start yung pandemic ng March, pero as early as May, nakakapag-operate na ibang mga stores namin because we are positioned in a way na health yung pinopromote namin, and which is very critical at this point in time. So we're extending this same waiving of royalty fee sa aming mga new franchisees until the first quarter of 2021. Next slide, please. Ito po yung ilang sa mga sample setups natin. We have carts, kiosks. We also have inline or counter locations, and we customize the look of the cart based on what the mall prescribes or kung saan po kayong po-position. Next slide, please. In terms of franchise support, meron po tayong online portal which allows you as the owner to monitor the performance of your store through the franchise portal. Pwede nyo makita yung basic statistics about your store. What are your fast-moving items, slow-moving items. Pwede rin kayong mag-order ng inyong mga stocks online. This is accessible through laptop or through your mobile. So anywhere in the world, pwede po. It also gives you basic statistics. Next slide, please. Basic statistics about your business. Especially na marami rin kaming OFW na mga franchisees. So even yung meron silang mga nag-ooperate dito sa Pilipinas, nakikita nila how the stores are doing. Kasi nga, they get access also to the system. Next slide, please. So we have available locations right now. We have SM Sangandaan, to name a few, Valenzuela, Tiendesitas, Robinsons Metro East, South Mall, SM Center Las Piñas. We also have supermarkets and hypermarkets, which are essential locations at this point in time. And we're very happy that our location partners are offering up to 70% rent discount until December 2020. And we're hoping that they will be able to extend that. So we are encouraging if you want to start your business, this might be a very good time for you to do that kasi malaki yung chunk na nababawas sa expense ng store because malaki yung discount na nakukuha natin from and support na nakukuha natin from our rental partners. Next slide, please. So if you want to contact us, you may contact us through our Facebook page. You can also reach us through the numbers and email flashed in your screen. We also have other brands that are open for franchise and exploration with you. We will be very glad to assist you for your franchise inquiries. So thank you very much once again. Get certified and stay healthy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Don. Picture pa lang ng product mo, parang gusto ko nang bumili at nauuhaw na ako. Anyway, our next brand is a multi-channel payment platform with more than 20 solid years in the outsourced payment collection industry. For over-the-counter payment collection service provider, it has evolved to be a multi-channel payment platform. Let us all welcome the head of Visayas and Mindanao operations of CIS Bayad Center, Mr. Orlando Palumpon. Punta na tayo sa susunod na presenter. Mamaya ibabalik po natin sa inyo ang CIS Bayad Center. Our next presenter offers a favorite native delicacy in bite size and with variety of flavors. This brand was recognized and awarded as one of the most innovative companies in the local food industry. And now, to tell us more about it, let us all welcome the franchise manager of Bibingkinitan, Ms. Melissa de Guzman.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon to our kababayans in Japan. Thank you very much, Ma'am Elizabeth, for the introduction. So good afternoon once again. My name is Melissa. My company, I am from Philippine Food Asia Corporation, and one of the brands that I am handling right now is Bibingkinitan. So siguro po, karamihan sa atin ay familiar na sa Bibingkinitan, especially magpapasko. So isa ito sa mga Filipino delicacy na hinahanap-hanap talaga natin tuwing buwan ng Kapaskuhan. So let me just have a quick background of our company. So Philippine Food Asia Corporation was established way back in 2004. So merely we are on our 16th year already in the food industry. It started kasi po diba before ang size ng bibingka is about 10-inch yung size niya. So we make it into a bite size. We innovated it and we make it available all year round. So that's the reason why you've seen a lot of Bibingkinitan stores already inside the malls, especially inside SM malls already. Next slide, please. So this is our list of our products. Of course, we have the famous original bibingka. So we also have the overload on which if you want an extra salted egg or cheese, then you can choose this flavor. And then another flavor is the cheese max. Of course, saan ba mas best pinipare ang bibingka? Of course, with our Barako coffee and chocolate with the Tirol. We also have brands of juices, which is calamansi and dalandan flavors. So for the third slide, I'll be discussing about the franchise package that we are offering to you. So we understand we are in a pandemic right now. So our management headed by Mr. Rich Sands have decided to lower down the cost of our franchise package. So we are offering it at 300,000 pesos. So the inclusions will be the 1-year franchise term for the use of the brand of Bibingkinitan. Of course, we will be providing the equipment. So you will be having the oven, the coffee brewer, and even the chest freezer. So the freezer will also depends on the size of your store. So we will be providing the initial stocks and uniform, and the smallwares will be included as well. So even the marketing collaterals, ipoprovide na rin po natin. So that includes the banners, the toppers, and even the menu boards and the other essentials pa na kailangan natin for us to market the brand properly. So included na rin po dito yung standard design natin ng card, but please also take note that mayroon kasi tayong mga corresponding design criteria per mall. So this, on top of it, kung halimbawa medyo iba yung design ng ad na nare-require ng mall kung saan tayo magpuput up ng bibingkinitan, so the price of the package might vary also, especially if you wanted those bigger stores na with kiosk type with seating. So of course, the POS is necessary for you to monitor your inventories as well. So what are the marketing support that we will be providing? Of course, we will be providing the training for the staff. Pwede naman po sa inyo magagaling if you have, syempre lahat naman tayo, meron tayong mga particular person na gusto natin pagkatiwalaan to manage the business, and we will just evaluate yung person, yung staff po na recommended nyo po, if ever they will suit the position as well. So we will be providing the opening support and crew assist. And then right now po kasi we are automatically enrolling our franchisees sa mga delivery services natin, just like Foodpanda, GrabFood. So mas ma-maximize din po yung sales ng mga stores, especially most of our customers right now are purchasing through delivery. So we will be also, we are very active in social media. So that's part of the digital marketing efforts from the franchise for itself. Next slide, please. So as you can see, Bibingkinitan has a new logo already. So this is the sample picture of our layout box and the paper slips that we are using from our stores. So syempre, ang bibingka po kasi favorite natin mga Pilipino na pasalubong, di ba po? So readily available yung mga take-out boxes natin. So on the next slide, you will be seeing the new face of Bibingkinitan. So yan po yung typical store natin, wherein parang coffee shop na din po yung setup niya. So if you wanted to know about the concept, since we have a very limited time only to present here, you can contact me on the last slide. My contact number and email address is reflected. So you can take note of it, or you can also get in touch with PFA if you want to know more about Bibingkinitan. Thank you and keep safe, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lisa. Sarap ng ka. Anyway, pwede natin balikan na ngayon si Mr. Orlando Palumpon. Sir, okay ka na?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes.
Hello? Okay. Okay, my apology. So, okay, good afternoon, mga kabayad, as we call our partners and our customers in Bayad Center. So I would like to present to you this afternoon the business proposition of Bayad Center. So, next slide, please. So, we are 20 years in operation and 15 years in franchising business. So, we are the payment authority in the country because we pioneer and a market leader in the bills payment industry. So, we are part of Meralco, and also we operate in a multi-channel platform, but our over-the-counter channels is still the most significant contributor of our business. Okay, so in Bayad Center, we pivoted not only offering bills payment service. As you know, Bayad Center has become a household name in terms of bills payment. And now we also pivot to other services, other financial services like micro-insurance and ticketing, loading, even loan payout, ATM withdrawal, remittances, and even medical reimbursement products. So you could expect more with Bayad Center in terms of revenue generation. So this is our franchise package offer for Bayad Center. I guess we are one of the lowest to offer a franchise fee because basically our business is a service-driven enterprise. So we did not want to charge more our partners because we are in the business of providing services to our Filipino countrymen. So that's why it's only 35,000 pesos. So it's very affordable actually. That already covers for 3 years franchise contract, and as early as 1 year you could recover your investment as long as you have a very good location and you also hands-on on the management of your franchise. So I don't think you could see the full details of the income, but those who want to request, you could ask from the organizer in this seminar the full details of what you expect us earning for every service of Bayad Center. So the next slide, this is how a Bayad Center look. So basically, we are not offering anymore the standalone business model. We want to be a complementary service for all other business that you have right now, existing business or any business that you want to put up. So we could coexist. Why? Because our value proposition is a traffic generator. No, so kami yung hatak ng tao para yung ibang negosyo nyo ay makakaroon ng mga new or additional customers. So that's primarily the value of Bayad Center, by giving your potential customers or existing customer a value service, no, add-on value service through Bayad Center franchise. Okay, so in terms of support, in terms of validation of our business, next slide please. We have been awarded, no, as a most outstanding Filipino franchisee by Philippine Franchise Association. In fact, we are a Hall of Famer under the medium scale service category. And in terms of marketing support, we are also awarded by the Philippine Franchise Association as the best franchise marketing program last 2019 on the same category. So these are the accolades that you could expect, and this level of service that Bayad Center could give to our partners as well as to our customers. So for those who are interested to franchise, you could keep in touch with us at this email address and contact number, franchising@bayadcenter.com. So you could email us if you are interested to be our franchisee. So with that, thank you very much and good afternoon once again, mga kabayan.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Olan. Alam mo ninyo, marami talaga, hindi pa tayo nag-webinar, marami na po talagang interesado dyan sa business na yan. Kaya pati ako interest na makinig. No? So our next brand is a homegrown company and the first maker of rice brand-based health and beauty products in the Philippines. They started as a manufacturer of aromatherapy products 19 years ago until they grew from utilizing their locally sourced materials into exporting their finished products. Our next brand is a success story of a homegrown brand going international. May we call on the Franchise Relation Officer of Orai Spa, Ms. Patricia de Ramos.
Yes, hello po. Thank you, Ms. Elizabeth, for that introduction. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Thank you, PFA, for another opportunity to present our company. So, hello po sa ating participants from Japan and to all our viewers in Facebook Live. I'm Patricia De Ramos, Franchise Relations Officer of Orai Spa. So, in realizing our dreams, there's no better day to start than now. So, alam ko po sa inyo, marami ngayon quarantine na nag-iisip kung ano ba ang pwedeng gawin, ano bang purpose natin ngayon. So, naniniwala po ako na hindi po ito aksidente na nandito po kayo na nakikinig sa mga brands na magre-present ng aming mga franchise business. So, in every crisis, naniniwala po ako na laging may opportunity. So it served us well to that during this quarantine, other than safety, na-realize po natin na wellness is a priority. So kailangan po natin pangalagaan ng ating sarili. So instead po na maghanap tayo sa lunas or cure, kailangan po nating maiwasang magkasakit by embracing a healthy lifestyle. So our brand promises po to give you relief and relaxation. So bringing the feel-good spa experience into your homes anytime. So sino po ba si Oray Spa? Oray Spa Spa Solutions Incorporated is the first and finest maker of 100% rice brand-based spa product sa word na darak. So type nyo lang po sa comment section if alam nyo po. Alam po natin na usually fed po ito sa hogs and it is the byproduct of rice milling. It is also beneficial antioxidants packed with vitamins and nutrients. So meron po kaming tanong, no? Nakakita na po ba kayo ng biik na hindi makinis? Meron na po ba? So, yun po, mostly po kasi yung darak na kinakain ng mga hogs ay nagre-reflect po yun dun sa skin nila. Yun po yung aming saying. No? So, nagre-relax ka na, gumaganda ka pa. So, Oray Spa is your ASEAN Excellence in Healthcare at the ASEAN Business Summit 2016 and outstanding Filipino franchise. And also, we are the best in corporate social responsibility program 2017 po, awarded by the Philippine Franchise Association and the Department of Trade and Industry. So we are into manufacturing and retailing, and we expand through franchising. Oray Spa is founded by homegrown brand advocate and seasoned entrepreneur, Ms. Cheryl Ramos Quintana, who has been also into sector. So why choose Oray Spa? We are a trusted Filipino brand. So what are the products we cater po? So we have hair care. So we have shampoos, conditioners, hair spa. So we also have bath and body care, the scrubs, soaps. And also we have the stress and pain relief, which is our flagship products, and also the home spa solutions. So enjoy a great brand equity in areas that we operate. And we are also the only brand dedicated for rice brand-based spa products and uses all natural ingredients. We promise a feel-good anywhere, anytime experience, which is in demand po ngayon dahil nag-quarantine, alam po natin lahat ng mga salons ay nag-close. Minimal lang po yung open ngayon. So when you buy the product po, we promise na feeling nyo po, nagpunta na kayong salon. So just buy our hair care set or the stress and pain relief. So we are manufacturing our own products, having control of quality and servicing your inventory needs right away. And we are a 20-year manufacturing company, and we have also a competent team that cares for the collective growth of our franchisees. And we are led by a clear brand vision and mission. So next slide, please. So Oray Spa franchise investment po is inclusive of franchise fee, staff uniform, kiosk, initial inventory, stock bond, and soft opening support. So it costs 626,000. As an Oray Spa franchisee, enjoy 50% profit margin. Note that we do not have royalty fees din po. And return of investment is 1.8 years. So the contract is renewable for 2 terms, having the franchisee enjoy 9 years of contract because the contract po is 3 years. So Oray Spa franchise is easy to operate. We also have Oray Spa startup package for distributorship and resellership po. For only 76,000 for distributorship and 32,000 for resellers. And also, during the pandemic po, we have our pivot strategy that we opened a subsidiary, which is the Oray Spa Healthcare, that produces and supplies alcohol-based sanitizers and sanitizing agents. Centralized client servicing and coordination, and we have more home resellers and distributors from franchisees. So our target market po is everyone who are into a healthy lifestyle and believer of all natural products. So you can now be your own boss at an affordable cost. We are happy to partner with you. For inquiries, kindly contact us to the details that are reflected on your screen. So maraming salamat po sa pakikinig and God bless.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pat, for that very good presentation. Now we go to the last presenter, It is a company that offers franchise matching services that helps you to be your own boss and to start your own franchise. And now, to tell us more on these various franchise business opportunities, let us all welcome the franchise consultant of U Franchise Sales and Management, Ms. Camille Malto.
Thank you, Ms. Elizabeth, and good day po to everyone, especially to our fellow kababayan in Japan. So thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. By the way, I am Camille, one of the franchise consultant of U Franchise, and I will be presenting to you the top franchise brands that are on the upswing this time. So let me introduce to you our company first. U Franchise is the largest franchise matching platform in the Philippines. So ano nga po ba yung service namin? Basically, number one, tinutulungan po namin yung mga aspiring franchisees na katulad po ninyo be matched with the right franchise brand to invest in. Sa dami po kasi ng mga franchise offers ngayon, it's a bit confusing po, lalo na sa ating mga first-time franchisee na wala silang idea kung ano ba dapat yung mga i-consider and kung paano mag-start ng franchise. So, U Franchise is a member of Philippine Franchise Association, and we are a sister company of FranCorp Philippines. So, we have helped over 1,000 franchisees na. So, sa U Franchise po, we do not hard sell on one brand dahil meron po kaming over 200 quality brands na pwede pong i-offer po sa inyo. So with the free franchise consultation po kasi that we are giving to interested clients, mas naliliwanagan po sila kung ano po yung brand or concept that they want to choose. So the idea here is to really help you choose the right franchise, and of course, the advantage din po is you have someone po to help you with the process and also to follow up po with your franchise application for free. And if super ready na po kayo pero wala po kayong location, hindi po kayo makapush through dahil location po yung problem ninyo, no worries po kasi we have naman location assistance as part of our premium service. And then, in the next slide po, let's now proceed to the brands. So we have the world's famous fries. We have Potato Corner. Franchise package starts at 128,000 and up. So once you become a Potato Corner franchisee na po, you can operate a physical store and do home selling at the same time. So meaning po, meron po tayong dalawang revenue stream. So take advantage of their free franchise fee until December 2020. We also have Fruity, which offers frozen yogurt and milk tea at a very affordable price. Lahat po ng products nila ay below 100 pesos. So affordable yet good quality. So dito po sa Philippines, yung milk tea has been the top item being ordered through delivery app kahit wala pa pong pandemic before. So, and up until now, milk tea is really killing the game. So, get a Fruity franchise for only 350,000. On the retail side, if you want to have your own grocery store, we have Easy Day Shop for you for only 3 million, good for 100 square meter space. So of course, we have the very in-demand and another essential business in a microlending. It's a microlending po. So we have LPNG credit line. So in the Philippines, there are really a lot of opportunities po for a microlending business. Lalo na po ngayon na most of our kababayan is nangangailangan po sila ng additional business capital. So franchise package starts at 2.9 million. So these are just a few of the many brands that we can match you with. Marami pa po kaming brands with a lot of exciting offers. So in the next slide po, kung wala pa po kayong specific brand or if you feel na you still need assistance or kung may location po kayo pero you don't know what brand to put dun sa location niyo, let us help you on a free one-on-one consultation. You may contact us po on the details flash on the screen through WhatsApp, Viber, or email. So thank you everyone, and we look forward to helping our aspiring franchisees.
Maraming salamat, Melissa. No? I think sound advice talaga yung dumaan sa U Franchise kasi minamatch maybe your personality, your capital, your location, and yung sariling gusto mo sa product na pwede mong mag-invest as a franchisee. No?
Yes.
So, sorry, Miss Camille.
That's fine, ma'am. Okay lang po.
There you have it. Let us now proceed to the question and answer portion. Our first question is from Teddy Martin. and this is addressed to Ms. Cheryl Quintana and Mr. Chris Lim. The question is, how do you know if the brand or franchise is viable or not? Can we assume that once a brand is a member of the PFA, is already viable and that they have the right systems and procedures in place?
Thank you for that question, Ma'am Marino. And dun sa nagtanong marami, ano nga pong pangalan nung nagtanong, ma'am?
Teddy Martin po.
Ay, hello, Mr. Teddy. Salamat sa tanong mo. So, we actually also put an answer over the chat box. And very stringent ang screening process ng Philippine Franchise Association sa lahat ng mga nag-a-apply bilang miyembro ng PFA. In fact, meron kaming membership committee. They go through screening and then interviews, and then it is presented in the board meeting of the Board of Trustees. And kinakailangan i-approve po yan ng BOT. Ang aming basic na requirement o criteria for accepting them, they should be operating at least 3 years in franchising business. Pangalawa is they should be operating 3 company-owned stores and also have 3 franchise outlets, so 333. Yung sa basic na requirement po namin na yon bilang para maging members ng PFA ay very stringent. And tinatanong nyo, kapag ba yan ay member ng PFA, it is guaranteed to be viable yung business, no? With the screening process, we can vouch that all members of the Philippine Franchise Association are viable franchise businesses, of course, and PFA being the home of the trusted brands in the franchising industry in the Philippines. Now, pagka naman po kayo ay, of course, although yun ay binavouch namin, may kanya-kanyang standards ang bawat brand, yung business, no? With the screening process, due diligence in researching, and also asking around, studying carefully. Kasi sabi nga natin kanina, no, we have to be prudent these days, of course. And all of the times talaga, kinakailangan pag-aralan natin mabuti, no, ang franchisor o yung franchise brand na ating bibilhin or mag-i-invest with.
Maraming salamat, Ms. Cheryl. Now we proceed to the second question. This is addressed to Mr. Chris Lim. The question is from Hilario Asidao. Mas maganda ba may partnership sa franchise po o ikaw lang po?
Oh, well, very good question, Hilario. In terms of franchising, unang-una, you can either be a sole proprietorship or corporation. Both of that naman pwedeng gawin yan. Now, in terms of getting a partner, I think it really depends. Now, let's say you're from overseas. And walang talagang tatakbo sa Manila, sa Pilipinas, wherever in the Philippines. Then maybe it's a good idea to have a partner. Because sometimes mahirap din na magtatakbo ka ng business, mag-hire ka lang ng manager dito. Iba pa rin kung partner mo talaga siya. Just make sure that partner, as I said kanina, co-invests with you. Maglagay din siya ng pera kasi they will take care of the business much more if may pera silang linagay. Now, if you're based here in the Philippines and you can run it yourself, okay lang din yun. I think there's no problem running it yourself. One reason you'd get a partner is maybe kung kulang ang capital mo. Let's say, the franchise you wanted to get, nakakita kayo, 1 million pesos yun. But you only had 500,000. Instead of parang getting a business na hindi mo naman talaga masyadong gusto kasi yun lang ma-afford mo, sometimes it's good to get a partner, a co-investor, para you get the franchise you really want kasi you'll be running that for the next 10, 20, 30 years. Make sure you get something you want, not just something you can afford na nag-compromise ka tas 3 years later, you regretted that because it's going to be a costly mistake.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris. Now we proceed to the last question, which is addressed to all franchise presenters. The question is from Mr. Jose Villamero. How long po ang standard time ng ROI po ng franchise na masasabi mo na healthy ang negosyo? Ulitin ko, how long po ang standard time ng return on investment po ng franchise para masabi mo na healthy ang negosyo? Sino hong pwedeng sumagot sa inyo? Mr. Chris?
Yeah, maybe I can give a rough every brand naman will have a slightly different one. But I mentioned kanina, rule of thumb lang to, so at least it's a good guide. Kung nag-i-invest kayo mga under 1 million, typically yan yung mga kiosk, very small stores, food carts, that's about under 1 million pesos. Ang expected return on investment mo, mga 18 months. Now, maybe because business is a bit slow, maybe 18, maybe 24 months. But it should be maybe under 2 years. If you're investing between 1 to 5 million pesos, so that's $20,000 to about $100,000 US, maybe try to get a return on investment under 2.5, 3 years. Now, if you're investing bigger, mga more than 5 million, ang 1 to 5 million, mga ano yan mga small restaurants, mga salons, spas, yan din yung mga micro-lending. So yan, usually you want a return in about 3 years. Now, if you invest over 5 million, these are restaurants, big self-service laundries, mga dialysis centers. Usually, ang payback niyan is before 5 years. So mga 3 to 5 years. So yan yung rough na pwede yung estimate when it comes to franchising.
Salamat, Mr. Chris. Since we don't have more time, I think yung mga ibang questions na lang po ninyo ay sasagutin na, ibibigay namin sa mga presenters at sasagutin na lang po sa individual emails ninyo. For those who want more information about any or all of the products presented earlier, may I direct your attention to the poll box found at the lower portion of your screen. Yan. You may click any of the brands that you are interested in. We will give them to the PFA and to the franchise presenters, and you will receive the materials after the webinar. So yun pong hindi nasagot ang katanungan at yung gusto pa na magkaroon ng mas malalim na kaalaman sa mga individual brands, pwede ho kayong pumunta dito, i-click lang ninyo, isa, dalawa, or lahat, kung interesado po kayo lahat. And PFA and the presenters will get back to you. Huwag ko kayong mag-aalala na wala dyan yung pangalan ninyo o yung email address ninyo. Yung Zoom webinar na po ang gagawa niyan at magbibigay sa mga presenters. So that's it. I would also like to remind all the participants that the next Tnk Webinar will be on November 29, same time, 3 p.m. Manila time and 4 p.m. Japan time. The webinar will tackle setting up business in the Philippines and assistance from the government. Hope to see you again in the next seminar. Before we come to an end, it is my pleasure to introduce once again the President of the Philippine Franchise Association, Ms. Cheryl Quintana, for closing remarks.
Thank you once again, Ms. Marie. And again, good afternoon to all our fellow kababayans in Japan. Thank you so much for attending this franchise seminar. I know marami sa inyo ang bitin, no? There are a lot of questions. We will surely get back to you through your emails. I hope that you have learned a lot and more importantly, have been inspired to start a business and be your own boss today. Before I proceed, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude to our partners for this fruitful undertaking. Our Philippine General Consulate of Osaka, and of course, the Philippine Community Coordinating Council in Kansai Region, Japan. On behalf of PFA, we would like to thank the invaluable support of Mr. Emmanuel Ang. Thank you so much, Eman, the Commercial Counselor and Trade Representative of the Philippine Consulate General Osaka, and the Consul General Maria Eileen Bugarin of the Philippine Consulate in Osaka. And of course, our host, Ms. Elizabeth Marie Estrada, the Labor Attaché of the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, for facilitating this webinar. On behalf of the Philippine Board of Trustees and Directors, especially my colleagues here who are with me in this seminar, our chairman, Richard Sanz, and our director for ASEAN and Special Projects, Chris Lim, and of course, our participating franchisor brands this afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving PFA an opportunity to serve our kababayans in Japan. We are proud of you, our overseas Filipinos there. May this webinar be a start of something big for all of you. Please feel free to contact our presenters this afternoon as we've conducted the poll. So we will get back to each and every one of you, and we will share the contact information of each of the brands. And just keep in touch with the PFA or through your Consulate General, the Philippine General Consulate Office. And we look forward of you to getting started in the world of entrepreneurship via franchising business model. On this note, our gratitude to our presenters, of course, for sharing the varied ways of our kababayans that can start a business through franchising. The PFA members who presented this afternoon, as I've told you earlier, however, are just a fraction of the franchise opportunities that PFA has to offer. Yun ay sinasabi nating patikim lang. No? Please feel free to visit our website, www.pfa.org.ph, to discover other opportunities awaiting you. Lahat po ay nagsisimula sa pangarap. Sabi nga nila, our dreams help us see possibilities. This pandemic, this crisis that we are facing, always carry the opportunities that are awaiting us. We hope that this webinar help you see the possibilities of life in general. And now that you have seen it, work for it. Ang sipag ay laging sinusuklian ng tagumpay, lalo na kung kayo ay nandito na sa battle-tested franchising business model. We know that we are in these challenging times, of course, but must never lose hope, because hopelessness is the biggest enemy of success. Instead, let us be resilient, agile, and optimistic, because these traits will lead us to recovery of our own and for the country, para sa bayan. For any inquiries about franchising, please feel free to contact the PFA Secretariat, and we will be happy to be of service to you, as I've shared our website also. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. God bless and stay safe, everyone.
Maraming salamat po, Ms. Cheryl, for that very inspiring message. And that concludes our webinar this afternoon. Thanks again to the Philippine Franchise Association, the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, and to the PCCC Kansai region for organizing this fruitful undertaking. And to our participants, maraming salamat po for staying with us. This has been Elizabeth Marie Estrada of the Philippine Consulate General in Osaka, wishing everyone a success on their entrepreneurial journey. This webinar is recorded, so you may want to visit it again on PFA's Facebook page at Philippine Franchise Association, and to their website at www.pfa.org.ph. Again, maraming salamat po. Apart from the learnings, we hope that we inspired you this afternoon. Keep safe, God bless, and let's embrace a better normal. Good evening.